Right, so far I agree with it. Okay, I think these are nerfed. Yeah, I agree with that. Right, let's see the build guide itself. Trait line, yeah, where is that? Okay, trait line. Right. Straight away I disagree with it. Should I tell you what's wrong with it already? The first trait line and the last trait line. Arms, yeah? Arms is awful. Why the hell would you want to use Fury Burst when you can use Reckless Dodge? Like, I mean, what? Where's the logic in this? Using a burst or dodging to get damage. And by the way, the burst has a 15-second cooldown. Guess the cooldown on the dodge roll. It doesn't have a cooldown. Therefore, it's more effective. So I win. Damage is 1012, but let's just be honest. It targets number 5 and the radius is 180. And it's unblockable. This is blockable. Therefore, it sucks. Let's do the next one. Wounding position. Okay. Gain position based on your position. Yeah, well, what if your position is low? What if you're using a Condi build that doesn't actually have position? Oh, well, then you've got a problem. But if you are smart like me, you're going to use a healing signet that grants might. Why would you do that? Because you constantly get heals throughout the fight, which means you're going to get 5 plus might, which is 150 power, 150 condition damage, and 5 damage, and 50 healing power. You know what else about this is? You don't have it can't miss. A wounding position can miss every single time. If you suck at combat, like a lot of people do on Guild Wars. So therefore, this has been debunked. What's the next one? Deep strikes. Gain condition damage based on when you have Fury. But what if you have bad condition damage because you're not a condition build like me? Because I have, I think, 0 condition damage. Let me just check. Oh, guess what? I have 0 condition damage. That trait's completely freaking useless. But I tell you what's good. Forceful great... Oh, sorry, I'm not up to that. Building momentum. Burst skills restore endurance on hit. Do you know what that means? It means every time I get endurance, I get burst. And the endurance gained is 15. That is better than gain conditions, because if you have 0 conditions like me, that is completely useless. Let me take a look at the next thing. Blade Master. Sword skills gain reduced recharge conditions. They inflict gain increased duration. Do you know what that means? It means it gets reduced recharge and conditions. They inflict increased duration. But what's the problem with this? I have 0 conditions. So what did I go for? I went for Forceful Greatsword. Gain might on a critical hit with a greatsword or spear. Greatswords and spears deal more damage and recharge faster. What am I using? I'm using a greatsword. And I also get might for this. I get 30 power, 30 condition damage, which is not really a big deal, and 10% healing power. I also get a recharge duration reduced, by 20%, and a damage increase by 10%. You know what I would choose? Forceful Greatsword. Let's take a look at the next thing. Bloodlust. You have a chance to inflict bleeding or critical hits, and bleeds you apply last longer. Bleeding deals damage every second, stacks intensively. Duration is increased by 33%. Chance on critical hits is 33%. You want to know what the problem with this is? Bleed is a condition. What did I go for? Get a damage bonus when your endurance is not full. Do you know what that means? I get a damage bonus when my endurance is not full. Do you know what that means? It means when this thing is not full, I get damage bonus. Yay! And you can't see that because I've not recorded it on the Guild Wars side. Let's take a look at the next one. I've gone with Berserker's Power. What have they gone for? Focus. Are you absolutely kidding me? Critical hits grant bonus adrenaline and gain a stacking condition damage effects. Well, I am not a condition. I have 0 condition build. And critical hits grant bonus adrenaline. Let me just clarify something. Gain a damage bonus when endurance is not full. What does this say? It says critical hits grants bonus adrenaline and gains stacking conditions. So that doesn't benefit me at all. But what does? Berserker's Power. Gain increased damage when you use a burst skill. This damage increase is based on your adrenaline. Adrenaline stage 1. 15 seconds, 7% damage. Adrenaline stage 2, 14% damage. Adrenaline stage 3, 21% damage. Maximum stacks, 3. So straight away, I've just debunked this trait line. Arms trait line. Why are they using the arms trait line? Because meta builds suck. Let's do the next one. They've gone with tactics. Let's see what they've done. They've gone down, down, and down. What have I done? On my build, I've gone the same thing. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind that. That is okay. I'm okay with this. Why? Reduce damage incoming when revving. That's amazing. Deal increased damage for every boon on you. I get loads of boons, so that's good. Heal and grant might nearby allies when you rally or successfully revive someone. That's amazing. And you get might. 10 seconds increased outgoing damage. Radius is 360. Healing is 1,300. Number of targets is 5. That's great. Increase power for nearby allies. I do that, yes. Increased presence. That's really good. Gain healing power for each stack of you. That's really good. And then phallic strength, obviously, is the might, which I use. So this is fine. I got nothing wrong with this. Here's where I have a problem. This trait line has gone berserkers. Now, what's the problem with this? Well, I'll tell you the problem with this. I have gone with discipline. Why have I gone with a discipline for? Gain adrenaline on weapon swap, right? And as you just read there, I gain Berserker's Power. What does that do? Gain increased damage when you burst his skill. This damage is increased based on your adrenaline. What does this one do? Gain adrenaline on weapon swap. So I get bonus damage because of my Berserker's Power, which goes hand in hand with that trait. Adrenaline is 5 and it's combat only. What have they gone for? Berserk. Rage. Gain adrenaline on attack speed boost and access to prime burst skills. Attack speed increased by 15%. Well, I mean, this does actually go in hand with, yeah, Furious. That goes hand in hand with Furious. Okay, but mine goes hand in hand with Berserker's Power. Okay, big deal. Last Blaze. When you use a rage skill, inflict burning on your nearby enemies. What is burning, ladies and gentlemen? It is a condition. What is my condition? 0. What is this then? I use Warrior's Sprint. Run faster while wielding melee weapons. Movement skills break immobilization when used. Remove immobile. Do you know what the most overpowered condition is in this game? Immobilize. Movement speed increased by 25% as well. Everyone in this game wants movement speed. I don't care what you are. I don't care if you've got Path of Fire. I don't care if you've got Heart of Thorns. I don't care if you don't have either of them. I don't care if you're free to play. You always want movement speed. In fractals and dungeons and everything and everywhere else. So I would go with the Warrior Sprint. This build is freaking atrocious. Right. Now, I've gone with fast hands. Weapon swapping recharges faster, because I'm always swapping weapons in combat, right? I'm always doing that. What does this guy go for? Always angry. Gain increased damage and condition damage, which is 0, when you enter or exit Berserk mode. Keep in mind, this is only a Berserker thing, so you have to actually gain adrenaline in order to get this, which is absolutely atrocious in combat if you're, you know... I mean, this is only good if you're by yourself. This is not good in teams. This is solo combat. Your adrenaline's going to go down if people kill it too quickly. Flipping hell. Next one. Heat the Soul. Gain condition damage. Again, I'm not wearing a torch and I'm not having condition damage. So that's completely useless because the condition damage is 150, which is nothing, and the recharge is 20%. What did I go for on my fourth trait line? I went with Brawler's Recovery, which removes conditions when you swap weapons. This is flipping amazing. Okay? Amazing. Because if you have a condition on you, you can remove it if you swap a weapon. I would rather have that than freaking gaining condition damage. In a nutshell. This build is poor. Like, it's poor. Fatal Frenzy. Gain boons when you activate Berserker mode. Now, what does it have to do to be in Berserker mode? You have to be in combat. Now, how long have you got to be in combat for? Quite a while, actually. So what did I go for? I went with Versatile Power. Gain might on weapon swap. Burst skills gain reduced damage. Basically, if I swap a weapon, I get might. Basically, if I burst skills, I get reduced damage. Do I need to continue this build, really? Do I need to keep debunking this build? Because it completely sucks from what I see. Now, what did I go for? I went with... what did they go for? They went for King of Fires. Increase the duration of burning you apply, which is a condition. Gain fire aura when you critically hit an enemy. Berserker skills detonate fire aura, damaging and burning nearby allies. Radius 240, which is not a lot. And you get a fire shield. Now, this is pretty good. And the burning duration is increased by 33%. Now, that's pretty good. It's okay. But it's not worth an ultimate. Do you know what I went for? Heightened Focus. Gain quickness when you strike a foe that is below the threshold. Do you know what that means? It means you get quickness for 4 seconds, and skills and actions are faster, and the health threshold is basically 50%. Do you know what that means? It means whenever you're in a fractal and someone's bursting down an enemy, usually they are on 50% of health, which means I would be doing more effective efficiency rather than this website. So I have just debunked the Condi flippin' PS quick guide build on the QTFY.EU site. Disgusting meta. Let's look at the other one. Skills. Oh, here we go. This is going to make me laugh. Look at this. Sword and torch. Longbow. Right. Let me debunk this really quickly. Sword and torch. Right. That's absolutely garbage. Sword and torch and longbow. Do you know what the longbow does? Right. Do you know what the longbow? Right. Did you know the longbow? You know when you click arcing arrow. Did you know that you actually have to click the floor before you can even set that off? And it's a 10-second cooldown. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that? I've tried that, you know. I've really tried that. And do you know what the rifle does? It's a 10-second cooldown, and it does 5 times the damage than this does. In fact, it probably does a lot more damage than this does. Wait, is that a 10-second cooldown? It is. And I think it's half the cooldown as well because of the amount of time that actually that you're using it in combat. So you get 5 times 3,395. You get piercing shots. You get a combat finisher, a physical projectile, which is 20% chance, and you get a range of 1,200. What's the range on a bow? Same thing, but like I said, I wouldn't want to click the ground every time I want to attack. I want to get it all done, right? So straight away, I've already debunked the 3 ability. The first ability is shoot a pair of arrows at your foe. Range, damage is 234. Okay, I have a damage of 685. My cooldown is 3.5 seconds. This doesn't have a cooldown, but I'd rather have a cooldown and deal more damage than deal no damage. Right? So that's dual shot debunked. Fan of Fire. Fire a spread of 3 flaming arrows, burning foes, and again, this is a condition. Damage is 351. Do you want to know what my damage is? I get fire a piercing shot. I get 747 damage. I get 10 vulnerability. I get 10% income damage, 10% incoming in condition damage. I get a cripple that's 50% movement, minus 50% movement speed on the enemy. I get a combat finisher, and the range is 1,200. I would rather get that than the Fan of Fire. Now let's debunk this one. Smoldering Arrow. And again, shoot an arrow that explodes on an impact. Now, I don't mind this because it implies blind. I don't mind that at all. But do you want to know something that's funny? That's a 12-second cooldown, yeah? Now, on the rifle, you get a brutal shot, which is a 15-second cooldown, but hold up a second, right? You deal less damage, right? But listen, you shoot your foe, you then evade backwards, which removes a condition, I believe. It should do, anyway. You immobilize an enemy You apply vulnerability for an enemy, which is 12 seconds, I think, of vulnerability, 8% income damage, 8% income in condition damage, evade 3.4 seconds, distance 400, yeah, you've got to be close for that, the range is 1200, and the combo finisher is a physical projectile. I would rather get that and immobilize the target than blind him, because immobilize is ridiculously OP in this meta. I don't care what people say. Immobilize is the worst condition in the game, or the best condition in the game, depending on the rear end. Pin down. Fire an arrow that bleeds and immobilizes your target. And again, this is a great ability. This is. I'm not taking away that the pin down is a great ability, but you want to know what the problem is? It's a 25% cooldown. Do you want to know what the rifle's cooldown is? 15 seconds. What does it do? Push and foe back with your rifle butt. What does that mean? It basically knocks back any foe that I need to knock back. So if I'm in fractals and I'm doing the ooze, and there's some oozes coming at me, that freaking big jelly thing, and the number of targets is 3. What's the number of targets on this one? Oh, guess what? It doesn't have a number of targets. It's only for one NPC. So tell me again how the longbow is better than the rifle in this meta build. Tell me. Tell me. Go on. Go on. Type in the comments. What exactly am I missing out from not having a longbow? Because I've tried the longbow even recently, and it's sucked. I tell you. Great sword. I mean, do we really need to debunk this? Do we? Do we really need to go there? What's the highest cooldown? 25 seconds on Flames of War. 25 seconds. 25 seconds. Do you want to know the cooldown that's the highest on mine? 16. Yeah. I have half a second cooldown on number 1, yeah, which is fine for me, really. I have a 3.5 and 6 point seconds on the second ability. They have 8 seconds. They have then 12 seconds on the 3 ability. I then suffer for 8 seconds only, yeah? 1 second is actually casting it, so it's technically 7 seconds, I think. And then I have 12 seconds on the number 4. They have 15. So, again, what is the best, I believe? I think it's me. Oh! Let's take a look at the utility skills. Oh, here we go. This is going to be a laugh. Right, you ready for this? Do you know what they say? Do you know what they say? I'll tell you. First of all, let's do this, right? Blood Reckoning. Heal yourself, gain adrenaline, and recharge your bear skills. Heal for a percentage of your outgoing damage. 3,230. Wow. Do you know what mine does? I'll tell you. Now, keep in mind, the cooldown is a long time, right? But it's not, they've actually cheated, because I don't actually have that, because I think that is Path of Fire thing, Blood Reckoning. I'll have to Google that, but I don't actually have that ability, so I go with To The Limit, because I get 5 plus might, I get 150 power, 150 condition damage, and 50 healing power. Adrenaline goes to 30, endurance gain is 50, number of targets is 5, radius is 600, and the healing is 9,100. And I only have to wait an extra 10 seconds. I would rather do that than to use this ability. Blood Reckoning sucks. Let's take a look at the next one. For Great Justice. Now, I don't actually have a problem with this ability. If people want to use For Great Justice, that's great, actually. I've used it in the past as well. I still kind of use it now. I don't use it personally, but I do like that ability. What they've done there is actually really good, right? Here's where it gets good. Banner of Strength and Banner of Discipline. Right, I'm going to debunk this really quickly. These two, I don't care what anyone says, they suck. Okay? They do. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. They suck. Okay? I have seen way too many warriors use the Banner of Strength and the Banner of Discipline without having a clue what the hell they do. So let me just read out what they do. Place a banner that improves power and condition damage for you and your nearby allies, yeah? 600. Do you want to know how much it does? It doesn't actually say. It doesn't actually say, right? It just says improved power and condition damage. It doesn't actually say how much, right? Now, I want to clarify this. These do not give you might. They don't give you might, okay? Let's test this out. No, they don't. They actually don't. No, they don't. They don't give you might. They don't give you might. They do not give you might. They only improve your power and condition damage. And in dungeons, they are completely freaking useless. If you compared them to any other ability, I can guarantee you I would not be using these two. I would be using anything but these two. They are garbage. They are outmeted. They shouldn't even be in the game. They should be removed. I don't like people when they use them. I don't like people when they ask me to use them. They are trash. Absolute trash. Shattering Bow, which is I don't think I have that actually. I think that's another Path of Fire utility. Yeah, I don't have that one. Shattering Bow, yeah, I don't use that either. I don't know what that is, so I can't really comment. But if you're gonna do this for stability, then don't bother, right? But I understand it has bleeds, and I get it, you know, it's a Path of Fire build, I get that, right? So I can't really criticize this one either. The only thing I will say... Oh, and they use Wild Bow as well, which is another thing I don't have. Now, again, I don't have a problem with Wild Bow, because, again, it's Path of Fire. I've not tried it, okay? I don't have a problem with that. But these are terrible. As far as Shattering Bow goes, that again, I don't have that on my warrior, because I don't have Path of Fire. That's where I believe you get it from. Anyway, let's do the... Oh, this is the best one. You ready for this one? This is I will have fun debunking this, right? Headbutt. Basically, let me debunk that, right? Stun your target. Okay, that's amazing. Okay. Stun yourself, yeah, which means you're vulnerable. Gain adrenaline when you're hit, to which point you're downed, right? Because you've just basically killed yourself. It's a 20-second cooldown. Don't get me wrong, that's all right. The range is 400. A stun break. The damage is 798. Wait, can we read that again? The damage is 798. Okay, keep that in mind. The stun lasts for 3 seconds. As soon as and then you've got to use 3 to get out of there. But wait, I'm not using a greatsword, so I can't move. I have to dodge. To which point I can't dodge before I've headbutted. So when you've headbutted, you instantly die. Yeah. To which point then you've got to rely on someone to give you, aka me, a battle standard which can get you up. If you have a warrior that actually has common sense. This has adrenaline of 30. And if you don't know what that means, it basically means it's bad. It's really bad. This website is the absolute worst I've ever seen. I mean, are people really taking this game seriously? Do you know what I use? I use Battle Standard. Now, what does Battle Standard do? Now, you might think, okay, 240 seconds, that's a bit much. Okay, you might think that, right? But listen to the effects, okay? This is combat related. This is group related. Place a battle standard that revives fallen allies and grants fury, might, and swiftness to allies. Revives target 5. Fury 3 seconds. 20% critical chance. Might 14.5 seconds. 30% 30 power. 30 condition damage. 10 healing power. Swiftness 3 seconds. 33% movement speed. Number of allies. You can revive up to 5 allies. Your duration is 60 seconds. Your effective radius is 600. Your combat finisher is a blast, and it's a range of 600. I would use that any day over the freaking headbutt ability. Why the bloody hell would you use that for? So now that I've debunked the trait line, the skill line, and the weapon skills, I want to debunk the equipment that they... Oh, yeah, oh, this is going to be classic. Right. Oh, wow, they've actually done something right for once. Strength. Yes, they've actually done something... Okay. Geomancy. Geomancy. I don't... Okay, listen. I don't have a problem with superior sigil of strength. I don't have a problem with that. I use that. But then they've done the Geomancy rune, which inflicts bleeding on nearby foes for 10 seconds when you swap to this weapon while in combat. Wow. Okay. Do you know what rune I go for? The sigil rune the sigil I go for. I go for Sigil Restoration. What does that do? Let me read it out to you. Gain health on killing a foe. Oh. So if I ever kill a foe, I gain health from that. What does that do again? Inflicts bleeding on nearby foes for 10 seconds. Which is again a condition. Flipping hell, dude. I could debunk all these builds all day, I swear down. Right, let's have a look at the equipment. Are you joking me? Okay, listen. If you don't know what this is, by the way, this is like, this is the equivalent of like the Reaper build. Where it's extra prize and the condition, right? This is Reaper stats. They basically put Viper stats on flipping Warrior. Work that out, right? I don't even want to look at this yet, but they've put Superior of the Rune of Nightmare, yeah? Which is basically a condition rune. Do you know what I've put? I've put what a warrior should have, a Superior Rune of Strength, which is 25 power, 10% might duration, 50 power, 15% might duration, 25% chance when struck to gain might for 5 seconds. Cooldown is 5 seconds, 100%, 100 power, 20% might duration, 5% damage while under the effects of might. Oh, guess what? And by the way, I'm always under the effects of might. This, my friends, is trash. Let's take a look at this. Oh, the Viper's Backpack, which is a Reaper backpack. 52 power, 27 precision, 52 condition damage, and a whole big 27 extra price. What's mine, I wonder? Let me check. I have the Beta Fractal Capacitor Infused. What does that mean? It means I have 63 power, 40 precision, 40 ferocity, which is what a warrior needs. And then I have 20 agony resistance on it. Gee. Right, Vipers. Basically the same thing. Viper build. Viper build. You guessed what? You're playing a warrior. You're not playing a Reaper. I guarantee you the same people who made the Reaper build, I guarantee you they read the warrior build as well. Just because of favoritism. Do you know what I put? For accessories, which is earrings, I put 110 power, 74% precision, 74% ferocity on both of them. Yeah? And plus 10 agony resistance on both of them as well. Oh, by the way, I have 150 agony resistance in total. What's my amulet that I used? Distinguished Circle of Logic. 157 power, 108 precision, 108 ferocity, with a 20% magic find boost. What have they done? 133 power, 71 precision, 133 condition damage, 71 extra price. Again, I have to face palm. Because again, they have done grift. Right, now this one. Now, for some reason, they put a Sinister Ring in there. Power, position, condition damage. Okay, I put the Ring of Red Death in there. 126 power, 85% precision, 85% for 80. Sorry, not percent. 126 power, 85 precision, 85 ferocity with 25 agony resistance. In the other ring, I've put the Attuned Crystalline Band Infused, which is 126 power, 85 precision, 85 ferocity with 20 agony resistance on that one. They have done the Viper build. 106 power, 56 precision, 106 condition damage, 56 extra price. I am absolutely sickened with this build so far. I am absolutely disgraced by this build. Consumes. Let's see what they actually consume. Oh boy, this is... Wait, actually. No. Oh my goodness, this is bad, dude. Right, okay. You know what they've done? Right. First of all, I won't even get into that. Toxic, I won't even get into that. Because that's, again, why? You get condition damage, so what? I've just debunked it all. Oh, and a little bit of precision and 10% experience from kills. Who cares about experience when you're maxed out? That I shouldn't even have to debunk, right? This is funny. Fried golden dumpling. Yeah, you ready for this? Cooked nourishment, 30 minutes, okay. 100% concentration, 25% magic find during Lunar New Year, right? Which sucks, because I'll explain why in a minute. 33% chance for might, 5 seconds on critical hit. Do you want to know what mine does? Well, in my opinion, I use the Pumpkin Blessing. Now, what does this do? You're going to love this. Pumpkin Blessing, 30 minutes. Reviving an ally grants pumpkin prowess to both of you and your revived ally. Pumpkin prowess increases power, toughness, and vitality. The 10% experience from kills and 30% magic find. I think I know what I would go for.